Hello, guys. I'm on time. It's 9 p.m. Pacific time, and I just wanted to say cheers. 9 p.m. It's Monday. Had a long day at work, and I am really looking forward to going through this training with you guys tonight. I just want to make sure that I'm live. It says that I'm live. Let's just make sure. Okay, where am I? Should be live. I don't see myself. There I am. I'm going to bump this up in the feed. Okay, where am I? Should be live. Bump in the feed. I don't see myself. Okay, Jennifer, I see you're on here. Okay, you guys. I think Jennifer's on here. Hi, everyone. All right. One more thing before we get started. Let's see. I want to see the actual post. I want to see comments bumped in the feed. All right. Invite group members. Let's see. Okay, someone's here. I can't see. Unfortunately, I can't see who. Yep, there you are, Jennifer. Now I can see you. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. Happy Monday. Thank you for hopping on live. If you are catching the replay, please let me know. #replay. I know that most people will be on the replay, and that's perfectly all right. For those of you that are hopping on live, though, if you have questions, this is the time to ask it, because I will answer all questions before I hang up here. So this week, let's see. Last week we talked about the first week we talked about polls. Now that I'm super organized, right? First week we talked about polls. Last week we talked about Facebook group psychology. Really, we integrate Facebook group psychology in every single thing we do for our Facebook group. So we are going to bring in some Facebook group psychology tonight when we talk about our welcoming new members. We're going to talk about welcoming new members. We're going to talk about that first impression. All right, when it comes to new members, I have a lot to talk about. It's not going to be very long, hopefully, but I do have my notes, and this is going to be really good, you guys. So I hope, sit back, enjoy. I'm going to take a sip of my Monday night, late night wine with you. It's not that late here. It's 9 o'clock, but I was just chatting with Sherelle, who is on the East Coast. And I was so excited about tonight. And I actually, at first, going live at 9 o'clock, I was like, ugh, it's really late. It's not ideal. But it fits in my schedule. It's in the beginning of the week, and that's when I wanted to come live. So the more that it led up to it this week, I got more excited. And there are people that are ready to sit and watch, even outside of the West Coast. So. All right, so we're going to go ahead and talk about that first impression, the welcome to your Facebook groups. Now, when we talk about Facebook groups, a lot of the times the biggest questions I get are engagement questions as well as growth questions. Growth is great, right? We love to grow our group in numbers. There's just no doubt about it. But why am I green? Man, I'm green tonight. But what do you do with those members once they pass through that front door? Okay. So growing it, we're not going to talk about growing our group tonight. We're going to talk about what happens when they pass through that front door. And actually, when they're knocking on the front door, we're going to talk about that tonight. So like I said, growth is great, but keeping them in your group is even better. Am I right? Thumbs up if you think I'm right? Wouldn't you rather keep your members in your group that you've attracted outside your group? But let's be honest, you guys. When you first join a group, What is that first impression? What do you see? That's really what we're going to talk about tonight. And I'm going to give you some best practices of what you should do when, people are checking your group out. I really want to, go through the process with you here hey, Sherelle, I was just talking about you. I want to go through the process of what happens when you join a Facebook group. So I am actually going to share my screen. It's the first time I've shared my screen on Ecamm. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go through the process. Let's hope that you can hear me. I have not tested that out. So I am sharing my screen. Current Google, current application. All right. Can you guys still hear me? And can you guys see my screen? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Thumbs up if you can see my screen. I'm going to wait for that only because I haven't tested this out yet. You can hear. Can you see my screen? Besides for me, can you see my Facebook page? If not, let me know before I move forward because I'll tell you. Yes, thumbs up. Yes. Okay, perfect. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, I'll just have to tell you guys, for those of you who are wondering about Ecamm, man, I always have problems with other apps, and that was so easy. It was almost too easy, you guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to see what other people see, right? We're gonna dive into that first impression. Okay, thank you guys for letting me know that you can see my screen. I really do appreciate that. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just like play along here. I want to find a group that I would normally join anyways. Here's one. All right, so what does this tell you? It said 2 posts a day. Collective, female entrepreneur collective, empowering women. First of all, you guys, I'm a banner fan, and this is a great banner. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to slow down and look at what I see when it comes to joining a Facebook group. And then I'm going to talk about reality here. So what I see here is, welcome to the Female Entrepreneur Collective. I'm a scroller, so I'm going to scroll. There will be loads and tips of tricks. I want to create a place for food. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. And to whoever this group is, I'm not blah, blah, blahing you. I'm just blah, blah, blahing because that's what we do. Things that will not be tolerated. No advertising, spamming, recruiting. Okay. Now that I've gone through that, and you guys, if you've ever seen this before, you can see how many posts a day the group has created, how many members have joined in the last 30 days, and when the group was created. I will tell you that only nerds like myself probably look at those numbers. Most people do not, so don't fret it if you are, if you have very little posts or you have very little growth, don't sweat it. It doesn't affect when people join. Why I wanted to go through this with you is because how many of you actually really read the description of a group that you're going to join? I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I am a total nerd when it comes to Facebook groups. I do not read the description. I do not take the time to read the description. I do not take the time to read the rules. And if I don't do that, then you know darn well that your new members are not going to do it as well. So why am I telling you that? I'm telling you that because you got to take into consideration what people really do in real life and what they look for before they join a group. Okay? The first thing, what did I do? The first thing I looked at, her banner. I'm telling you guys, her banner. This is not about banners, but her banner was the first thing I looked at. It is the first impression you get as to what this group is all about, besides for the name. The name didn't mean anything except for one thing. Female entrepreneur. Okay, that right there I connect with because it tells me who this group is for. Okay, it's very clear. And empowering women in business. Collective with a K doesn't matter to me. That's fine. I don't even know what she means by collective, but that's okay. Female entrepreneur, empowering women in business. It's very clear on who this group is for. And the banner is very clear. I don't even look at the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday schedule, which I think is great. I'm not a big fan of themed days, but this is very clear. And I do like the approach that they've taken if you are going to do that. So you know exactly what to expect. Anyways, first impression, the banner. Second impression, the description. I don't read the description, but what I do read are the first 4 lines of the description. I wrote a post today in the Facebook group that was talking exactly about this. What do you read when it comes to joining a free group? I want to know from you guys what you read, whether you're watching this in the replay or whether you're watching it live now. Go ahead and share with me when you first join a group. What is the first thing you look at? Do you look at the description? Do you look at the rules? Do you look at the banner? Do you look at the name? Do you look at how many people are in the group? I mean, be honest. Let's hear what you guys have to say about this. I will tell you that the first 4 lines I read, and in this case, they're too long of words. I know that sounds funny, but they're too long of words. I'm not going to read it. So in my post earlier today, I said, make sure that you keep those first 3 sentences, make them pop, okay? You do read the rules and descriptions. Jennifer, you are the exception to the rule because 90% of people don't read the rules and don't read the descriptions. So how do we avoid having the wrong people in our groups? Because if they're not going to read the rules and they're not going to read the description, how are we going to know that we have the right people in our groups? And that comes in time. That comes with your Facebook group questions. But let's just assume that your questions are 100% targeted and you know that you are only going to accept the people that you know are a good fit. And you're going to assume that they've read the rules and descriptions like Jennifer has here. But I will tell you, 90% of people do not read the rules or the description. But we all know what Facebook group rules are, okay? Facebook group rules across the board are no spamming, no, what did she put? No spamming, no bullying, no negative comments, no recruiting, no advertising. That is across the board. We all know that it's only, promote yourself when asked to promote. If you don't know those rules, or if your members don't know those rules, there's a very clear way to really bring that up. And that's actually when you're attracting the right people and you're accepting the people that you know would be a good fit, you really don't even have to enforce those rules. I've never had to enforce those rules in this group because I know exactly who I'm looking for. And I honestly never really thought about it as I do. I think I look at the banner and the first few sentences and kind of skim the rest. Great question. See, Sherelle's exactly. I mean, there's so many groups that we want to be a part of. We take a quick look. Is this something that I'm going to get some value out of, right? What's in it for me? What's in it for me is the first thing that people ask, okay? They don't have time to scroll and read the rules, 90% of them. Jennifer, I give you a high five for that. All right. So my point is keep it brief. Don't overthink your description. Don't overthink the amount of people that are in your group or the number of posts in your group. This does tell me that the group is consistent. Okay. 1 new post a day, 29 in the last 30 days. That means there's at least 1 post a day. It's consistent. It's not dormant. All right. Let's just do this for fun. Okay. Join the group. I'm going to join the group as myself. I don't like to join the group as a business. That's just a personal thing. And I don't really need to say anything about that because that's your personal choice. All right. What's your biggest business challenge right now? And what is your business? That's a great question. Biggest business challenge would be visibility. Let's say visibility. It's a good one. And I am a Facebook group strategist. Okay. Will you check out the pinned post once you're in the group? Okay, you guys, if you've been following me for long enough, you will know that I'm not a big fan about this question. Can you tell me why I'm not a fan of this question? Because they've wasted this real estate. This is really good real estate. This is really good market research real estate for this group. Yes, they've asked what the biggest challenge is, but there's another. You don't need to say yes. Yes, sure, I'll check it out, right? Like, how are you? I don't know. I think it's just wasted real estate, in my opinion, guys. Pop your email in if you'd like a newsletter. Hand on heart, I won't spam you. I just share stuff. Again, if you follow me, I still do this. I still will put in my email address. But if you follow me enough, you'll know this is also wasted real estate. And you guys, you cannot prove that they cannot prove that I have opted in to receive my if the law came down to it, there's no way for you to prove that I have actually agreed to be emailed. Okay, so I'm not a fan of putting your question as, put your email in. You guys all know that from me. All right. So I just requested to join, and that's it. So I wanted to do that as a test for you guys because I wanted to show you that first impression and really what we typically do as group, as people that run. Okay, hold on. Let me go back to Ecamm. I'm back here. As people who like to be a part of groups. I wanted to just share that with you because I wanted to, make it real life, right? I'm going to join this group. This is typically a group that I would join. And those are typically the things that would go through my head when joining the group. What is it? What's in it for me? And what are the questions? Because I love to see what people ask for the questions. And I don't read the descriptions and I don't read the rules because I know what the rules are. And I abide by those rules. All right. So I wanted to touch base on the description and I wanted to touch base on the rules because I don't want you to overthink them. Don't, make them there for the few people that do look at them. But your first impression is really your banner, your name, those first 3 lines, and then when people get in the group, okay? So this is what I wanted to really discuss tonight, what makes a good welcome post, okay? Now, there are multiple ways to create a good welcome post. I am not going to go into detail with that because I actually have a really awesome bonus module in how to create epic welcome posts in my course. And it's like in a detail. And I'm not going to go through it because it is a lot of detail and it's a lot of click here, click there, click here, click there. Okay. But I do want to talk about the welcome post. So right now I'm going to actually remove last week's video. Look at my hair. Oh my goodness. Okay. So here's the example of my current welcome post. Okay. So what makes a good welcome post? Number 1, write this down. Number 1, personality. This is your opportunity to let your hair down because, okay, let's just take, for example, I just joined this one group that I just found, right? So maybe I get this notification. In fact, wouldn't that be great if I was on live here? If I got a notification and said that you were accepted. Okay, so you get a notification that you've been accepted into your group. So you put yourself in your group members' shoes. Get a notification that your group. I'm going to share my screen. I just realized I wasn't sharing my screen. That your group member. You get a notification that you've been accepted into a group. So your group member just got a notification. They're accepted into your group. They're going to pop in your group. Okay. What are they going to do? The first thing they're going to do is scroll your group. Okay. I will tell you that not all the time will they see your welcome post. That's just being totally honest with you. In fact, I'm going to go back to group discussions. It's a little bit different because I am the owner of the group, but they're not necessarily going to see the group announcement or welcome post because Facebook likes to change things up in what they see when someone enters the group. Okay. But you need to put it in your announcement so that you have quick access to it and that you can share it on a regular basis. But what I'm here to tell you is, let's just say your brand new member jumps in the group. They're going to scroll your group. They come across the welcome post, okay? Make it very clear. I will tell you that when I didn't have this post say welcome post, nobody saw it. It was just some random post, right? Make sure it's very clear that the post that they're seeing is your welcome post. This is going to be the difference between someone popping into your group and forgetting about your group, or popping in your group and going, wow, I really, really want to hang out in this group. Okay? Make sure that they give them every opportunity to be able to see your posts. Now you can see here, my welcome post was actually created May 9th, 2019. Let me tell you, the funny thing about this is that this has changed over time and this image has changed over time, but the post remains the same. Okay. That's for a reason. It's got legs, right? There are comments under it. It has legs. There's never a reason to necessarily redo your welcome post. If you don't have a welcome post, create it, but you can always edit it in the future. All right, so what makes a good welcome post? Number one, I said personality, let your hair down. You can see here, I'm letting my hair down because this is actually how I talk, right? It would actually be more of me by saying, dude, like, dude, what's up? Because I do say that all the time. So number one, let your hair down. Show your personality, okay? Links are okay in this post. Links to your products, to your service, to a blog post, to an opt-in, all of that is okay. Why is that okay? Because people join the group and what do? That's the first and only time you may have to make an incredible first impression. Hey, Mickey. It's so nice to see you late at night. So that's your very first impression. People are going to pop in there and they're just going to go down the rabbit hole. Okay. For those of you who have been in my member vault or have member vault, the reason I have member vault is for the exact same reason. When people come across you, they start to dig in and they want to know more and they want to know more and they want to know more, right? So here is your first opportunity for you to share who you are, let your hair down, what it is that you have to offer, your resources that you have. And then here's the catch. And a lot of us in this group feel the same exact way. They're not ones to share. They're not ones. Don't put your group members on the spot. Please don't put your group members on the spot because they will not comment or say a thing. If you go back and look at the comments under my welcome posts, okay, typically in the beginning, my very first question was basically share what your group is. What's the name of your group? No links. Okay. So in the beginning, that's exactly what the answers were. They were the names of the groups, no links. Okay. But there's someone that's left my group. Oh, what a shame. But you can see a lot of people do not leave. Okay. The only way that your group members are going to share is if they have something in it for them. I'm just being honest with you. If they have something in it for them, they are going to share, okay? But don't put them on the spot. I've seen 2 people that have left. It's okay. I think it's funny. So as my welcome post has developed over time, and again, I've changed it. I've added things. I've subtracted things. I keep it as fresh as possible because I like to keep it fresh. But if you're going to go tag your members in a welcome post, make it very personal, guys. Don't create the list that you can. Okay, so for example, I tested this out a week ago, and I really wanted to make this personal to this big group of people that had just joined. Normally, my group members come trickling in, and I don't need to create this group. Okay, but I wanted to make sure and touch base with them without it being you're just a number, right? So, for example, if you have these 4 new members here, if I were to go write post, okay, a lot of people do this. You guys know this. And you can see here how there's a long list of people. Please don't just leave that list a long list. Your members think that they're just a number, and that is exactly what you don't want to create. That is not a good first impression, guys. Make it as personal as you possibly can. If you're not going to do that, then don't tag them in the post, okay? Many times I don't tag them in the post, but when I do, I make it as personal as possible. And I give people an opportunity to share, but I do not hold them to it. And I do not actually care. I do care, but I don't care if they post under there. I don't give it any weight in the value of my group if they're not posting in the group, okay? Let me go back to the camera here. Yeah. So if they don't comment, if they don't like, it's okay. But here's your opportunity for someone to walk in the front door and for you to give them who you are, what you stand for, any sort of resources that you have. Because remember, I'm not a fan of just being that Google community, right? You don't need to share all these tips and tricks. This is your opportunity to share in the one welcome post. Okay. You can also, in your emails, if you're sending emails out, you can also link that welcome post in your emails and say something personal. Say something. You want to know about me? Why am I called Banana? Here's a link to show you, right? It's an opportunity that is not, it's going to keep people in your group. That's my point. The welcome post you want to make sure is going to keep people in the group. You want to make that first impression. All right. So, getting your active members, getting your, active attempt at getting your members to see it, making sure that your members see it. Like I said before, Facebook may not show it automatically. They may not see it automatically. There are many ways that you can ensure that they see that first post. Like I said, in an email, in a direct message. If you tag them the right way. And that is one way for you to, ensure that they see it. You know what? And it's okay. In fact, I'm going to listen to my own advice. It's okay to reshare your welcome post on a regular basis, because maybe someone checked it out and they were in a hurry, and then, months later they forgot, and then it's an opportunity for you to share again. In fact, I'm going to do that tonight because we're talking about welcome posts, and I like to follow my own advice. I find myself doing that often. I'll teach something and then I realize, wait a minute, why am I not doing this anymore? And then I'll redo it. And I'm sure you guys are the same way with the things that you teach. You realize that sometimes you don't follow along what you're doing because you've either changed your ways or you've gotten comfortable, and then you realize maybe I should follow my own words of advice, right? Okay, so your first impression equals longevity in your group, right? Your first impression equals longevity in your group. That is your goal when it comes to a welcome post. And that's it. If you guys have any questions, I know it's super late and you may catch this in the morning. Please make sure that you have questions or, best practices that work for you. I'd love to see what works for you when it comes to your welcome post, when it comes to the experience that people have when they walk in that front door of your group, whether you're struggling with it or whether you're succeeding at it. Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation about it. This is what we're talking about this week. Is first impressions, that red carpet experience. Like I said, when people enter your house or enter your community, your goal is to keep them there. And by creating that first impression, that is where you're going to keep them there. All right, you guys, it's been awesome. And I will see you in the group. If you have any questions, just feel free to put them down below. If you catch the replay, put hashtag replay. And as you can see, I'm getting super tired. And it's time for me to go to bed, just like yourself. All right, you guys, I will catch you in here tomorrow. Bye.